Well, the first thing to tell you, Jimmy, is we're in the middle of a snowstorm. It started about 5 minutes ago, and those loyal Luton supporters about to welcome their team onto the field here at Kenilworth Road are in for a very cold afternoon. And here comes Steve Foster to a great ovation. Always a nice moment when the home team runs out for a cup tie. And remember that Luton were banned from the Littlewoods competition, so this is their first cup tie of the season. And having beaten Liverpool here in the league so convincingly, they're pleased to announce their strongest team for several weeks. Ashley Grimes has switched to left back because into midfield come number 7 Ricky Hill and number 11 David Priest, who have missed the last 10 and 11 matches respectively with knee injuries. Now at number 10, Mick Harford passed a late fitness test, but there's still a little bit of doubt about his knees, so don't forget there are 2 substitutes in the FA Cup this season. That's a new procedure this year, and number 14, Mark Steen, may have to be called into service. As for Liverpool, who would normally have been welcomed onto the pitch by some 8,000 supporters, but there was a silence mixed with a few raucous shouts from Luton fans as Liverpool ran out. They are fielding 8 of the team that won the FA Cup at Wembley and completed the double last May. You'll notice that manager Kenny Dalglish has left himself right out of the 13 names, and one of the substitutes is 24 years old Alan Irvine, signed from Falkirk recently for £100,000. So John Aldridge is not the first striker to be signed by Liverpool this season, although it will be interesting in view of Oxford's FA Cup defeat yesterday at Aldershot as to whether he is released earlier as a result of the amicable negotiations between the 2 chairmen of the clubs. Luton Town, maybe not familiar to those of you in other parts of the country. White shirts, black shorts. You'll get to know their players as the tie develops. They're playing from right to left in the first half. And Big Mick Harford, having passed his fitness test, gets an early touch. That was Rob Johnson, and then Alan Hansen for Liverpool. Liverpool knocked out in the 3rd round only once in the last 20 years. But I doubt whether the holders have ever begun their defence in quite similar circumstances to these. That's Mal Donaghy of Luton. Here's Ian Rush. Paul Walsh. Liverpool breaking now with 4 men from midfield, but it was Ricky Hill who found David Priest, who in turn picked out Mike Newell. Here's Peter Nicholas. Into Steen. Now Harford, and now it's Hill. Priest is outside him. 3 in the centre. Gillespie, Nicholas. And Liverpool playing without the normal backing they would have at that end of the ground, which they're attacking. Here's Mike Newell. Johnson. Again into Steen. This is Johnston. Lawrenson. Nice ball. Rush. McMahon. Good passing by Liverpool. Ronnie Whelan. Curved across to Johnston. Walsh, there was a flag up there for offside, I suspect against Craig Johnston when the ball was first delivered. And what about the effect of the support here inside the ground then, Bobby?
Well, you have to have a little sympathy for Liverpool, I must say. And of course, any club that has to come here without any fans, it's very difficult for them to create an atmosphere of feel wanted, I must say. I don't agree with it. I think that there has to be some sort of allowance made for away supporters. Why should the Luton fans see more of their team than any other team in the country? But nevertheless, the game goes on. They are a professional outfit. You've got to put up with these things. Get on with it. The 90 minutes has started. You've got to make the most of it.
There's 10 minutes gone in the first half. There's no score. It's Ashley Grimes forward to Mick Harford. Brian Steen. Harford again. This is Rob Johnson. And off Alan Manson. That's going to be a corner. Now, yesterday morning on this pitch, Luton were practicing their corner kicks, and the idea is for Peter Nicholas to swing them in from the right-hand side, and for Foster and Donaghy and Harford to make runs from the edge of the penalty area. Harford's there and wide. Flick on by Rush, who got it back from Walsh. Ricky Hills was the challenge. He and Priest delighted to be back in the action today. It's a big game to come back in, but if they can rise to the occasion, they should improve Luton's chances against the holders of the FA Cup. Here's Steen. Johnson swinging it in for Harford. He got to it. Newell is up too. Here's Ricky Hill. Driven forward by Beglin. It's Walsh and Johnson. Heads up for a free kick to Luton.
Yes, John. Whenever we teach youngsters, we try to tell them to play the ball on the floor. There's many reasons for this. A, it's quicker, and B, it's much easier for your pals to control it at the other end. It's very important that that happens on a pitch such as this, because to control the ball when it's bouncing around so much in the air does take a lot out of you physically. It's much easier if you can play as a team if you can keep the ball on the floor.
That was a shot by Harford, and it struck the groin almost of bar and post. It was a splendid effort. And after the sort of build-up that Bobby Charlton was talking about, the opportunity there for Mick Harford to volley one from long range, and that hit the angle. It was David Priest who was involved first off, a lovely little lay-in with the left foot. Steen pulled it back, Harford shot, and it cracks against the bar. Offside flag is up now, but those two passes which gave Harford that chance, Bobby, by Priest and Steen, just underlining the point you were making.
Of course, and the ball that was laid back by Steen, just a little touch, but that's because they're used to playing these balls back to midfield players. And Luton, as it turns out, have had more shots at goal in Liverpool. Anytime they get a half chance, they shoot on sight. And of course makes it very dangerous for defenders, as we've just seen there.
This is Rob Johnson. Grobbelaar's out of his goal still. Steen, and he got back in time. So the first flurry of real excitement, and it's at the Liverpool end, and Bruce Grobbelaar, a relief man. And the Luton team showing signs of confidence stemming from that earlier victory over Liverpool in the league. That day Liverpool played with a sweeper. They're not doing that today. This is Morby, who was the sweeper that afternoon. Ricky Hill into Steen now, and Morby very nicely away from Nicholas. That was good skill by the Dane. Four up with him too. This is Ronnie Whelan. For a corner to Luton, who will now push Donaghy forward to support Foster and Harford. Steen is on the goal line. Harford. Lawrenson. Johnson in well on Nicholas there. Don't think he knew he was there. And again Johnston away from Grimes this time. Good play. Foster's clearance. Hill. Priest. Hill to Grimes. Newell. Nicholas. Priest. Good effort by Priest. Well, Luton have played with imagination and at times direct style, but have not got anything to show for it so far. And here's Paul Walsh for Liverpool. Rush has come across onto this side of the field. Here he is now against Foster, into Molby. Oh, they've got McMahon completely free on his own. First touch meant he had to go round the long way. Still McMahon, and Donaghy clears. Liverpool's best opening, without a doubt. All they get is a corner, because McMahon's first touch just drove him wider than he would have liked to have gone. Rob Johnson. Harford. McMahon for Liverpool. Had to check there and play it square because the forwards had not got ahead of him. This is Johnston, though. They are now. And Craig Johnston showing good skill. Rush this is. Deflection, and fortunately for Seeley, Rush's shot was deflected. Here's Rush. Stoppage time now. Jim Beglin. Laid in low. Walsh. McMahon. Oh, that was well off. What have you made of this first half, Bobby Charlton?
Well, a bit of indecisiveness from Liverpool in the first part of it, but like you say, this last 5 or 10 minutes, they seem to have got a little bit more confidence in themselves, and they're playing the type of ball that you have to play on this surface, which is the ball played directly to feet instead of to the sides or in front of players. That way, they'll be able to have a little consistency in the build-up, and because of that, they've looked dangerous for the first time in the match. Probably, actually, they had the best chance in the match when Steve McMahon got put through on the left-hand side of the field, and just his own basic control let him down. He'd be mad that he missed the best chance for Liverpool. But something for them to look forward to in the second half, the mere fact that they've got to grips with this pitch at last, and probably they can see a light at the end of the tunnel and perhaps a result.
And just to balance that out, nearest Luton came was when Mick Harford hit the bar, and they also had 2 or 3 headers that weren't too far away. But at half-time in this FA Cup third-round tie at Kenilworth Road, the score is Luton Town 0, the holders Liverpool 0. Luton Town have reported today that crowds so far this season here at Kenilworth Road have shown quite a healthy increase. So despite having no away supporters, they haven't lost out at the gate. And a reminder too, because it is a new departure this season, that there are 2 substitutes allowed in the FA Cup, and Luton have Mark Steen if they wish to bring a forward on. There he is, in fact, in the corner of the picture there, little Mark, brother of Brian Steen, and that was Tim Breaker there, the other substitute, the blonde lad. And Liverpool, should they choose, could bring on either Barry Venison or Alan Irvine. Anyway, Liverpool start the second half, playing from right to left, and it's David Priest for Luton Town. There's Nicholas, Alan Hansen, Whelan, Molby, and Foster. There's McMahon. And Gillespie. Offside given against Walsh. There goes Rush with Foster, and Rush almost got a look in there. Foster has argued about the decision, which is a corner, but it could have been worse for him. It was a moment of daylight. Whelan to take the corner. Johnston coming in But if you do hear any shouts for Liverpool or chants of champions, then there are the permitted number of Liverpool followers who've been given the players' complimentary tickets, which is still part of the arrangement between the two clubs when teams come to Kenilworth Road. The only visitors allowed in are, in fact, players' friends or directors. The snow has now ceased, and the pace is still unrelenting. This is rush to Whelan. Mulby. Oh, that's terrific stuff from the Dane, and Donaghy had to come and meet him head on. Here's Johnston. That's also good by Johnston. And Whelan. Oh, that wasn't so good. Good turn of pace, though, by Craig Johnston on the right. The bookmakers were quoting 25-1 against Steve Foster to score the first goal today. And he's back in an attacking position. Steen. Nice turn, and Grobbelaar has managed to get that out for a corner from Brian Steen. 15 minutes gone in the second half. Nicholas will swing the corner in for Luton. Steen again at Grobbelaar, and it's going to be a free kick in the goalkeeper's favour. That was a good attempt by Brian Steen, and so typical of him. He's got good close control, he turns well, spins, gets his shot in, and Grobbelaar, who saw it coming, managed to turn it to safety. And they seem to be enjoying it. Looks like Sammy Lee there, second from the right, an old Liverpool player. Unless I've made a bad mistake, I rather think that's a former Liverpool midfield man there. Plays now for QPR, if it is. Steen to Rob Johnson, and he's got past Beglin, but he hasn't got past Whelan. Foster coming forward. Hill. Nicholas, Johnson, Hill. Oh, and Grobbelaar's mistake, and a magnificent clearance. I think that's Craig Johnston back there. Extraordinary. Well, it is, yes. That was a most amazing clearance by Craig Johnston after an alarming error by Bruce Grobbelaar. Ricky Hill could hardly have meant to shoot. I think it was a ball driven in for one of the other forwards, but anyway, it escaped Grobbelaar's grasp. And what happened next was something close to a minor miracle, because Johnston, an attacking player, had somehow got back there. If it was him, this is Hill. I'm sure that's supposed to be a cross. Grobbelaar here should have gathered that, but failed. Now look what happens. How Harford or Newell couldn't get it in, only they will know, but Johnston appears to be the hero. Here's Steen. Hill lofting it in. Harford is closing, and Mark Lawrenson was the defender. And the linesman has run round to signal a corner. Well, is this going to be Luton's moment now? Just about all the supporters inside this ground are hoping so. Referee's talking to Jan Mulby. Doubtless something was said. Friese will take the corner. Gillespie's header out. This is Nicholas. Great save. The goalkeeper had no hesitation there. That was a fine stop from Peter Nicholas. The corner was taken by David Priest. Gary Gillespie headed it out, and Nicholas got this down and got it on target, but that was Bobby Charlton. Fine goalkeeping.
Yes, I was just about to criticise Bruce Grobbelaar, and I thought that the that the Luton Town players would have sensed that he was having a little bit of a bad time and they were going to send as much as they could at him. But what a fantastic save to prove everyone wrong.
In by Rob Johnson to Mike Newell. Steen, Newell. And Priest. It's good build-up again by Luton. Hill. And Newell couldn't reach it. They're really having a go, Luton, aren't they? Hansen. Awkward for him, this. There's a good case for a free kick to Liverpool there. He appeared to be impeded to me, but the referee won't agree. He's given Luton the corner, and there could be some drama if they score from this. Foster and Donaghy and Harford are all positioned to come in for a header. And it was Mal Donaghy who failed to get it where he wanted. Although it was a clean attempt in the sense that he wasn't challenged. It's never easy when you've thrashed Liverpool once, because you know very well they're not going to lie down a second time, and they haven't. And there's Ronnie Moran and Roy Evans on the Liverpool bench, and John Moore just leaning forward there, the Luton manager in the blue. Here's Steen. Rob Johnson's cross. Harford came in. Priest! Oh, it was close. Had to be taken quickly, and it fizzed across the 6-yard area and wide of the far post. Otherwise, that score on the illuminated board might have had to be changed.
He's quite impressed me, young Priest, on the left-hand side. Good two-footed player, and that was only a snapshot, but nevertheless only a foot or two wide.
Craig Johnston scored a vital goal here at Kenilworth Road last season when Liverpool won on their way to the League Championship. And that goal line clearance today. Here's Rush. Johnston again. And again. Well gathered. His goal line clearance today could prove most valuable for Liverpool. Last season in the 6th round, Luton drew here with Everton and then went out on Merseyside in the replay, and it looks as though they're going to have to go back north again this week, because we are in stoppage time. Rush. Walsh. Really, there's been a marked absence of scoring chances created by Liverpool. Here's Steen, but it's all over, even though Luton created several of their own. And I suppose we shall remember a shot in the first half from Harford that crashed against the bar, and we shall certainly recall a quite extraordinary goal line clearance from Craig Johnston. But what that score means, as you can see, is that the two teams meet again on Merseyside on Wednesday evening. So those Liverpool supporters who couldn't be here today may well still see the resolution of this third round tie, which for today ends Luton Town 0, Liverpool 0.